Welcome, everyone. Welcome to Purplelunarose Tarot and Astrology. Tonight, I'm going to be reading for all 12 signs. We are looking at the week of August 23rd through the 29th. And this is going to be the week of the Pisces Lunar Eclipse. So that is the energy we're going to tap into as we go through all 12 signs. Guys, please remember we are multi-streaming. So tonight I am live on YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, and Twitch. Welcome, everyone. Welcome. I can see everyone starting to come in. I'm definitely running a little late tonight, so we are going to have a slow start. So guys, just get comfortable. I'm going to try to pull up the TikTok chat. Let me know where you're watching from. Oh my goodness. All right, guys, I'm hoping this is going to work for me. I don't know why sometimes it lets me see the TikTok chat and then sometimes it doesn't. But hopefully everywhere else we are okay. Is that Nama? Is Nama catching alive? Welcome, Nama. All right, I've almost got it up, guys. Okay, so we did talk about this Pisces lunar eclipse on Wednesday night, guys. So if you missed it, make sure to go check that out after all 12 signs, right? And we talked about how this lunar eclipse is very spiritual, right? It's in the house of Pisces, so that kind of makes sense that it would be that way. I told you to pay attention to the spiritual connections that you experience or like weird spiritual things that you experience with people around you, right? So a lot of you have been reaching out to me and telling me about all the weird experiences that you've been having. I just want you to know that it's not just you, it's definitely this Pisces moon. All right, I totally got the chat for TikTok. I love it. I don't know how long it's going to let us hang out over there. Sherry, I see you. Thank you for the rose. All right, guys. So I'm definitely running a little late. A little rebellious energy over here with Rosa. So I'm really excited to see how these readings are going to turn out because it's like, I mean, what I don't want to be like what else could possibly happen because then it's like I'm challenging the universe and I am by no means trying to do that. You know what I mean? Not at all. All right, guys, let's get started. These are the cards that I pulled out to use for tonight. I learned how to make the camera bigger. So we're going to use the Moonlit Legend cards for our energy of the week. And then we're going to use the Purple Moon Tarot to clarify. I've been wanting to use these for so long, but they're darker, so they're really hard to like get good lighting on. But I finally learned, look at that. I finally learned how to make the camera picture bigger. And now you can see. Now if I could just figure the light out, we'd really be getting somewhere. All right, and then I pulled the Energy Oracle out. Of course, we're all familiar with this Oracle set. This is what we're going to use for our main spread. And then tonight, a special treat for guidance, I pulled out the Fortune Teller Oracle. Again, I want you guys to look at the graphics to these cards. I am just blown away by the artwork to these cards, but I wasn't able to really like give you a close-up or be able to show you what they looked like before. And so now you can see them. You see that? How cool is this? All right, guys, let's get started. Remember, we're looking at the 23rd through the 29th. Definitely very spiritual week with the Pisces lunar eclipse. Nama says, I'm not feeling the spiritual, but I feel like a doormat. Ooh, ooh. Okay, shadow side to everything, right? Shadow side to everything. So if Pisces is the house of spirit, what would you say the shadow side of Pisces would be? Is it possible that it would be something like a people pleaser, right? Maybe an enabler, someone who wants to fix everything for everyone else. right? So those would be like the shadow sides of Pisces. So definitely could be why you may be feeling like a doormat. What I will say, and no, hey, you come here for a reason. Y'all come here for harsh truths, okay? I can't sugarcoat anything. I don't know how, all right? I'm working on trying to like be nicer, but I'm doing the best I can here, okay? But if we are more grounded, which just means that if we use the lessons that we've learned and integrate them into our everyday life, we're more likely to be more grounded and we're more likely to feel the positive energy of the moon, right? So, a Pisces lunar eclipse would be a very spiritual, very enlightening, just beautiful connection, soul to soul, with everything and everyone around you, the more grounded you are. And guys, when I tell you this, like, I am by no means coming out here and telling you that like I'm doing everything perfect and I'm experiencing all the spiritual stuff. I promise you, like, I mess up just like everybody else, okay? So that's how I know that when you said I feel like a doormat, that's the shadow side of Pisces. That means that you haven't been doing your grounding. That means that you haven't centered yourself in what you've learned through your spiritual awakening. Does that make sense? Did I say that nicely? She said, not from people just drained from the, well, yes, absolutely. That's all of us, though, right? Like, we all, the world is getting all of us. I was explaining to a friend of mine today. I love you, Sherry. But I was explaining to a friend of mine today that the world is experiencing a mass awakening right now. And people don't really understand what that means, right? They're like, what does that mean, Rosa? What's a mass awakening? A mass awakening means that the world is experiencing mass trauma at the same time. Okay? We're all experiencing mass trauma at the same time. So we're having a mass awakening. For people who were already awakened, you're having bigger activations, right? So that's what's happening with everybody, everywhere, all over the world. Now, the thing is, for people who are awakened, do you have a leg up? Yes, if you're doing your work and you're staying grounded and you're integrating what spirit has taught you through your awakening, then yes, you do have a leg up, right? You're able to carry the water, the pails of water for the other people that are coming through the fires that have not been awakened, didn't have no clue, right? That's the idea. That's what I think is the purpose, right? All right, so I totally did not make my timestamp chart because, like I said, I'm not perfect. I have been rebelling. I feel like for the last 2 weeks straight, I have just been like telling God that He either needs to fix it or I'm just going to become the problem. You know what I'm saying? And that's really like what's been happening. You ever get so frustrated that you can manifest you can manifest money or like small miracles when you need something, or you can manifest some person calling you at a certain time, or you can manifest a winning, lottery ticket. Some people have, I'm just saying. You can do all this stuff. You can make feathers land. You can make birds talk to you. You can make people be in favor of you because God's in favor of you. You know what I'm trying to say? But we can't make things work when we want them to work. Does that make you see what I'm saying? And you get so frustrated with like, what's the purpose of having this power if I can't even get the things to work that I want to work? Do you see what I'm saying? I think that a lot of us are getting to the point of frustration. And honestly, I feel like that's what it's going to take for us to be able to understand. It's like Spirit has taught us that we're going through this awakening. Spirit has taught us that we have these powers, that we're favored, that the universe always works in our best interest. We either believe that or we don't. You see what I mean? So then when we go through like struggles, like for example, Nama was saying, you know, she feels like she's been a doormat to the shit that's just going on in the world. Like a lot of us feel that way. And it is because like all of this shit is happening in the world, right? But we have to get to a point where we know what our power is and we know that we can step out of that unfavored lack energy. We know that we're awakened, that we've been going through this journey, that we have been activating our abilities, and we can use those abilities to make our life somewhat easier, right? Does that make sense? I just feel like that's how I've been feeling. That's just, I don't know, that may just be me, but I just feel like I'm at the point where it's like, what's the point of learning all this stuff? I understand that life's going to be hard, but it has to be at least feasible. You know what I'm saying? I have to at least be able to get through. I'm sorry, I'm having to make my chart because, you know, I'm not on time. I don't know about you guys, but I feel like spirit has been definitely teaching me about like time management throughout this whole awakening, and that is one thing that I have definitely like struggled to integrate or to ground into like my everyday life. I feel like I'm going to be late for my own funeral, you know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, like, I'm going on 6 years of showing up almost every week, minus my, you know, 2 or 3 mental episodes. Sherry says, you cracked me up. We gotta laugh, guys. We gotta laugh or we're gonna cry. Jenna, welcome. Yes, absolutely. Nama, that is absolutely correct. Nama says, is it possible that it's an empath and this is why? Absolutely, it is. Absolutely. 100% ding ding. All right, let's get started. Fire signs. I'm going to start with Aries. Let's do 1233. Right. I'm going to start out Aries. Remember, we're looking at August 23rd through the 29th. Biggest cosmic influence will be that Pisces lunar eclipse. Let's get energy of the week. Guys, I decided to use these cards. That's not true. Spirit tells me what cards to use. But the cards we're using tonight, you can definitely go check out in my TikTok showcase if you want to get a closer look. All right, we have waxing gibbous moon coming out for Aries. It did come out in reverse. A time of expansion and adjustment with growing confidence propelling you towards your goal. Expansion, confidence, adjustments, and preparation. Okay, there's something for Aries about confidence coming out here, which is really interesting because I feel like confidence is really big for Aries. Like that's a key term that we would use to describe the sign of Aries. Is confidence. Remember, okay, I get it. So Aries is like the baby of the zodiac, right? They're like the first zodiac sign, very new to everything. Always the first one through the door because they're the first sign, right? Um, Normally, because of that, Aries has a lot of confidence. But there's a lot of expansion happening in your life, Aries. You've been feeling the energy of like preparing for something, knowing that something big is coming your way. And there's this energy of lack of confidence. You may even, I'm about to get in trouble. You may even be making like certain choices or decisions based on that lack of confidence. New moon is on the bottom. I do feel, okay, so we have the Leo new moon solar eclipse. That's the moon that was giving us the courage to be able to deal with what we're dealing with now with this Pisces lunar eclipse. But I also feel that that Virgo new moon, it's going to come in, I believe it's September 11th. If I'm wrong and somebody knows the date, please tell me in the chat. But I'm pretty sure it's September 11th is going to be the Virgo new moon. And I do have this energy like one moon is giving us this to be able to do this at the next moon, to be able to do this at this next moon. You see what I'm saying? The preparing for something, right? And that's the energy I'm getting with Aries. All right, let's pull the main spread. I love it, Mama. Look how we know each other so well. All right. I want you guys to know that the reason it feels like we're so similar or like we understand each other so much is definitely, I feel, because we're going through the same experiences, the same type of awakening. I think we're a lot more similar than we even know. And I think that we experience a lot of very similar situations or like lessons, if that makes sense. All right, here it is. Challenge your obstacle. Look at that. Big confirmation. Angel of strength come out. So that Leo new moon, angel of strength, that was the energy that was supposed to give you the courage, Aries, to be able to do something that you're having to do right now. Angel of balance is here. Thank God, because I was about to start crying. I get so upset when I feel like Spirit's telling me that I can't be around someone, or I can't talk to someone, or I can't, like I have to be in solitude, and I'm talking about like a specific person, like someone that I care deeply about. I get so frustrated when Spirit's like, nope, there's no way. And I'm like, that's not possible. There has to be a way. There's a way for everything. You know what I'm saying? So I just get really upset when it's like, it seems like it's a no. But one thing I'm learning about Spirit, one, remember how I always say I don't believe in free will because I feel like Spirit's just kind of dragging me by my heels, you know what I mean? In this spiritual awakening. But I will say one thing I'm learning, and I feel like we need to take this like with a grain of salt, because I feel like people are going to take this the wrong way. I feel like Spirit's telling me there's something about moderation. Like nothing in excess is good for me. Does that make sense, Aries? Like nothing in excess is good. So if we can learn to balance, to moderate, that's lesson learned to help you with the challenge or obstacle. So you're lacking confidence and inner strength to do something that this Pisces lunar eclipse is asking you to do. And the way you're going to be able to do it is if you could learn to balance and moderate. I always see the glass of wine, and I used to drink. Remember when I first started all this? I used to drink a lot. So I understood that the reason I was seeing the glass was because Spirit was telling me that I was drinking too much, right? In Aries, it's possible. Maybe you're drinking too much. But I know that when I say we need to moderate, Spirit's not telling me like, hey, Rosa, it's okay if you drink a vodka tonic on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and then only beer on Tuesday and Thursday. You see, God's not telling me that. I have to cut all of that out, like alcohol, liquor. I mean, I'm not telling anybody what to do. For me, it was super bad, super bad. And if you look at the history of the booze and the alcohol and just the name itself, you'll learn so much stuff that will make you not even want to be around it. But that's what happened to me. Okay. Now, remind you, like I do all these readings to like help me through my awakening. I'm the Aries. I have the sun in Aries, Mars in Aries, my Mercury's in Aries. I have so much going on in the house of Aries. I don't think Spirit's saying moderation and balance when it comes to negative things. There has to be a give and take. Nothing is ever going to be perfect. But, okay, let's use a relationship, for example. In a relationship, if you're in a toxic relationship and it's unhealthy, and you understand that it's unhealthy, and you try to tell the person, hey, this is not good, this is not healthy for us, and you try to walk away from that relationship, and that person doesn't walk away from their relationship and doesn't try to change their ways, then yes, that's toxic. Spirit's going to tell you to get away from that, to get away from that energy. But if that person is making an effort, if you're seeing improvement, regardless of how freaking slow it takes, is spirit telling me to walk away, to leave and never look back? That's where I'm at with this moderation. I don't feel that spirit's telling me none at all. You see what I'm trying to say? Nobody's perfect. But if someone's trying, I don't think we're supposed to turn our back. I'm not saying enable. Don't buy the beer. I'm just using this as an example. Don't allow people to break your boundaries or ignore your boundaries, enforce them. But I don't think that we're just supposed to, I don't know. I think that it's something about moderation and balance. Door to personal healing and happiness comes out. It's number 34. This card's meaning is that there could be something blocking your door to personal healing and happiness. I guess you have to figure out what that is, Aries. Is it something? I mean, it's going to be something that the solar eclipse tried to give you the strength to balance it out so that you could get through this door. So, I mean, that could be so many things for Aries. That could be a relationship. It could be an intimate, a marriage. It could be a job. It could be a career. It could be where you live. I mean, I don't know. Yes, very much. She said, I love how you call it, Howie. I'm so glad you do. I tend to piss a lot of people off. All right, two cards came out. I'm going to take both of them. King of Swords and Wheel of Fortune. Spirit says 1 for 1. All right. So King of Swords is speaking your truth. It's counselor, mentor, therapist, coach. Maybe you're coaching someone. Maybe you're, this is the walk the talk. That's what this is. This is walk the talk. So this is like if you say something to someone, oh, this is spirit spanking me. All right. So if I come out here and I tell you guys, hey, we're supposed to be doing this, and then I go and do the opposite of this, like my confidence will grow the more I follow spirit's guidance, the more I choose the spiritual path instead of my free will. Wheel of Fortune is Jupiter energy. Okay, it's funny because Angel of Strength is an oracle, but the lion reminds me of the strength card in Rider Waite, which is Leo energy. Leo energy is my second house of assets, right? I have Jupiter in that house. So how interesting, you know what I mean? All right. Anyway, Wheel of Fortune is Jupiter. It's Sagittarius energy. It's good luck and good fortune. It's like an opportunity was given to you, Aries, and spirit's asking you to like grab the wheel, to like take the opportunity, to not allow the opportunity to sail by you. Angel of Balance is your lesson learned to help you with that challenge or obstacle. We have King of Cups. This is my clue card for Divine Masculine. This is learning to keep your emotions in check. This is the counselor, mentor, therapist. King of Swords is a mentor as well. But the King of Cups is my clue card for Divine Masculine because Divine Masculine has the energy of counselor, mentor, therapist, coach. Someone who doesn't allow their emotions to control their actions. I want to point out how we were talking about the shadow side of Pisces. So the light side of Pisces is spiritual, right? And the downside of Pisces, or the shadow side of Pisces, is when we're not in alignment with spirit, right? We're doing the opposite. Um, When I'm talking about divine masculine and divine feminine, those are the healed versions of our wounded self. Does that make sense? This is what we're experiencing, the lessons we're learning, but the goal of where we want to go. The goal of where we want to go is where we're not triggered, where our emotions don't control our actions, right? Door to personal healing and happiness. We have 10 of Cups. Look at that. Emotional contentment. All right, I got it. Six of Wands is on the bottom. Six of Wands is a victory. But okay, it's also notoriety. Like somebody notices you or you notice something. I think you notice something, Aries. I think that you have believed for the longest time that the divine masculine was blocking your door to personal healing and happiness. And I think that you're about to learn that emotional contentment is what was blocking your door to personal healing and happiness. And it's like, you're like, Rosa, what does that mean? It means that, Aries, you didn't know what you wanted that was going to make you happy. Like you weren't sure in your own confidence, in your own strength, in your own whatever that you wanted. And that's what was blocking your door, not a specific person. All right, let's do fortune teller oracle. I can't do that. I have to do the moonology. Have mercy, Rosa. Okay, we'll put one moonology and one fortune teller oracle. Guys, we've been closing these readings out with the moonology oracle for the longest time. All right, have faith in your dreams. It's the waxing crescent moon. You had waxing gibbous moon as your energy. A new romantic cycle begins. New moon in Libra. That's some confirmation there for Aries. All right, let's pull one last guidance card and we will close it out. Fortune teller oracle. This is one of my new favorite sets. I just love the artwork. It's like, oh my God. It says the universe is conspiring in your favor. Always, Aries, always. All right, I'm going to leave it right there. I hope that reading was helpful. All right, let's clean up. We're going to do Leo next. All right, let's timestamp. How's it going over there on TikTok? Is it quiet? I feel like whenever we use the restream, it won't let us have the FYP. It's so mean over there sometimes. All right, let's do Leo next. Let's do 2811 because I seen it. All right, Leo, remember we're looking at the week of August 23rd through the 29th. Your biggest cosmic influence will be the Pisces Lunar Eclipse. And guys, that lunar eclipse is coming on the night of the 27th or early morning on the 28th, depending on where you're at in the world. If you're in the US with me, we're going to experience the peak of that energy late, right before midnight. All right, last quarter moon comes out, Leo. Last quarter moon, a time to let go of what no longer serves you, clearing away old burdens, letting go, release, closure, and cleansing. All right, let's do challenge or obstacle for Leo. We have adjacent possibilities. It's number 24. I kind of like this card coming out as your challenge or obstacle because this is a really easy maneuver, easy way to get through this obstacle. Adjacent possibilities in the energy oracle says that you had a goal. The goal is always to get to the last door, to get to the end of the tunnel, to get to the light, right? And as you were making your path down the door, some of these are down the hall, some of these doors didn't open for you. Some of them were locked. One of them just completely falls out and like falls in your path. So like there's an obstacle in your way. And the purpose of this card in the energy oracle number 24, it says that if you have a goal and you're working yourself down the path, just because there's an obstacle does not mean that you're going to change your goal. It means you're going to change your route. You're just going to go a different way, but you still have the same goal. You're still going in the same direction. All right, let's look at lesson learned to help you with that challenge or obstacle. We have blossoming abundance. It's number 3. It just means that something new is happening. And then your potential outcome, we have 5th chakra, Archangel Gabriel. So Archangel Gabriel is the one that people say they hear when they hear like their calling. So this could have something to do, Leo, with like your calling, your like spiritual path, your soul's journey, what service you're supposed to do on this path. It could also just have something to do with your throat chakra. Like maybe there's something that needs to be said. I will say as well, I recently learned that your throat chakra is not just about something that needs to be said, which I think that's what it is. It's very possible, but it's also possible that you need to hear something. You may need to hear something. All right, the temple path is on the bottom. I show you that, Leo, because the temple path says that you're on the right path. You're exactly where you're supposed to be. So a lot of times when that card comes out, Leo, it's because people are scared or they feel like they've went the wrong way or they've, like derailed the plan. There's no such thing. You keep the same plan. You have the same goal. You're just going to go a different path. All right. Last quarter moon, I'm going to use the Purple Moon Tarot. Guys, these are on my TikTok shop as well if you want to check them out. Again, the artwork is just amazing. All right, we have 4 of Pentacles. This is also about letting something go. And remember, the last quarter moon was a time to let go of what no longer serves you. So confirmation that you're having to leave something behind. I think what you're having to leave behind was the idea that you were going to make it to your goal by taking a certain path. And now you're just learning that the path is different. It's not what you thought it was. It's something new, something unexpected. We have Knight of Wands. Knight of Wands says that you need to get courageous. So knights are messengers, right? I always say they go to like unknown lands. They travel to unknown lands. They're delivering messages of like whatever their element is. And the wands is a fire element. It's passion. It's like lighting a fire under you type of energy. Leo, I feel like you hit an obstacle and then you just like sat down and gave up. And you're like, oh my God, this is too hard. I don't know what to do. And Spirit's like trying to light this fire. All right, blossoming abundance says something new is going to happen. We have the Chariot. The Chariot is Cancer energy. It's a great victory, not a small victory. 6 of Wands is also a victory in tarot. It's a small victory. The Chariot is a major arcana. It's a great victory. So something is like already yours, made to be yours, destined. You're going to have to release the idea that you can't have something, you can't do something, it's not going to work out because you hit this one obstacle. You have to go around that obstacle. You can't just stop because the door falls in your way. You have to find a different path. This chakra could be the different path, Leo. Maybe there's something that I was about to say that you need to say, but again, maybe it's something that you need to hear. Maybe what you need to hear is your purpose. That's why you always see the trumpet with the Archangel Gabriel. We have 4 of Cups. 4 of Cups is saying that you have all the ingredients to manifest what it is that you want, Leo. Wow. So remember, Leo is my second house. My second house is assets, money, material things, my home, my car, this type of thing. Let me tell you, I'm taking a serious hit right now in this house. So it's beautiful for Spirit to tell me, hey, Rosa, there's an obstacle, but it's not that big of a deal. You just have to get courageous and keep going. Keep looking for what's new because you've already won. The victory is already mine. Does that make sense? I have all the ingredients I need to create the life that I want. And I think it's by listening and following my purpose and speaking my truth. Does that make sense? All right, let's pull some guidance. All right, let's start with the fortune teller oracle first, and then we'll do the Monology, close it out. All right, here we go. A hidden power within you is awakening. Embrace it. Look at the confirmation. Man, Spirit always has my back. And it's amazing. You should see how much hell I give Spirit. I'm telling you, especially here lately. Whew. All right, Moonology to close it out. I was just telling a friend of mine, I was like, oh my God, I'm so glad that like spirit loves us unconditionally. All right, look at this. We're doing Leo. It says, don't let your pride get in the way. It's full moon in Leo. Absolutely perfect. It couldn't end any better. This is a beautiful reading. Don't give up. You're so almost there. The victory is already yours. You definitely could be dealing with a Cancer energy. And if you're like, I don't know anybody that's a Cancer energy, then look on your chart. Where is Cancer for you? I just happen to be a Cancer rising. All right, I'm going to leave that there. I hope that was helpful. We're going to clean up and we're going to move on to the last fire sign, Sagittarius. TikTok, let's give me a heart over there. Let's see a heart go up over there. It says I have 0 hearts, 0 likes. How is that possible? All right, let's do 3618 for Sagittarius. Oh no, Gunner, don't start that craziness. Oh, I'm ready this time, buddy. Yeah, we're gonna stop that. Thank you. All right. All right, Sagittarius, this is going to be for the week of August 23rd through the 29th. Your biggest cosmic influence is definitely that Pisces Lunar Eclipse. Definitely very spiritual energy. Look at Miss L coming in. Welcome, Miss L. So let's pull your energy of the week, Sagittarius. Let's see how this spiritual energy is going to connect for you. We have new moon in Aquarius. Explore innovative ideas, and embrace your unique perspective, innovation, independence, and vision. Sagittarius, you come up with a new plan. You come up with a new idea. You've been stuck. You've been trying to see something through, and it's like, bam, this lunar eclipse is going to pull something up to the surface, maybe like an ability or a power, something like that. Full moon in Cancer is on the bottom. All right, let's pull the energy oracle and let's look at the for Sagittarius. Nama says, oh Lord, Sag rising, bring it. All right, here we go. My sister is a Sag rising, and we call her Nima. How interesting is that, Nama? Her name is Fahima, but we call her Nima. All right, here we go. Challenge or obstacle. Ooh, it's romantic. Not necessarily. And it is. Okay, so it's number 33. First, I want to mention that's my favorite card because it's number 33. But if you look at the card, you'll see that there's this heart and it's locked in this like bird cage. The door is opening. So it's saying like there's an opportunity right now, but it's in your challenges or obstacle. So this could be saying that there's no love opportunity, and maybe you're asking for a confirmation. Maybe you're wanting to know like, is this the person of my dreams or whatever, right? And spirit could be saying it's in your challenges or obstacles, so maybe not. Or B, it could be saying that you have your heart locked away for whatever reason. I will say, just guessing here, just Rosa guessing. I feel like a lot of times when we feel like this, when we lock our heart away, it's because we've been hurt too many times, right? I will say that I don't know how to prove this, so I guess it could just be my opinion. But I feel like God favors, source favors those who have experienced pain and can still love abundantly. I hope I said that right. Yeah, I definitely feel like I'm talking to a Sagittarius who is needing to come up with some type of new idea that is, I want to point out it's Aquarius too. So it's like Aquarius is like for the greater good of all, right? And I feel like you have your heart locked up. I feel like it's been hurt and you're like, I'm shutting this down. I'm not going to let anybody in. There's definitely something about that. All right, woman holding a coin comes out. So woman holding a coin talks about value and worth. It actually says that this woman comes into your environment and tells you or shows you your value or your worth. Excuse me. I don't think that anyone's actually coming into your environment to tell you about your value or your worth. I think that this lesson is teaching you how valuable you are. I think maybe there's something about your confidence or your self-worth that maybe has been knocked down due to like heartbreak. And I think that this is the week that something happens where you see the value in who you are or the value in being able to love abundantly, even like after through pain, like your ability. You see the black cat? So, like your ability, your power to deceit in reverse. I mean, I guess I'm glad it's in reverse. So deceit upside right means that there's someone hiding something from you. So spirit saying that no one's hiding anything. You're here for a great purpose. That's why we have this Aquarian energy, right? That's why this is your main energy of the week. Your great purpose is in the Moonology Oracle. I don't know if we're going to see it or not, but in the Moonology Oracle, the full moon in Aquarius says bring love to the situation. And that's kind of what I'm getting from this. It's like you could have definitely like closed yourself out due to like pain and trauma from things you've experienced from people. But it's like, Spirit needs you to open the heart to continue to love people abundantly. You have like some type of special power, Sagittarius, that's going to help you do that. And it's going to, there's something about, hold on. Ooh, man. Ooh, it's a hard one today because I'm channeling all this stuff, but then like the Rosa in me is like, wait a minute. um, okay. Deceit says you're scared of someone. You're scared of people deceiving you. You're scared of people hiding something from you. And Spirit saying that you can't live that way. You have to know what your power is, and you have to be able to like openly. You can't be forced either. This has to be like your free will. You have to openly continue to love people abundantly, even though you've experienced some type of pain. And it's not just any type of pain. With the deceit in reverse, you experience like narcissistic pain. You experience like someone telling you that, like someone trying to break you down to make you feel like you didn't have the powers that you do have. And there's something about being able to see through things or see through people. All right, Six of Swords. You're being guided by spirit, the Aquarius energy, the innovation, the vision. It's like you're being guided by spirit to calmer waters. Door to romance, challenge or obstacle. You have Eight of Cups. Thank you, Spirit. There's something that you still need to do. It's like you think the game's over. I don't know why I call it a game. It's not a game. Life is anything but. But my point is, you think you're done. You think this is it. I'm not, maybe you have some belief that you'll be single for the rest of your life. Maybe you believe that love just isn't for you. Maybe you believe that everybody walks away. Maybe you believe that you can't find anybody. There's no one out there for you. None of those things are true. Eight of Cups says you have to learn the lesson that you've learned here, and then you have to continue forward on your journey, because there's two more cups. There's more to go, and the more to go is better. So you're not even like at the best part. So you're closing your heart off and you haven't even got to experience the best part. Woman holding a coin, you have Two of Pentacles. Two of Pentacles for me normally is lack energy. It's a feeling of imbalance. It's feeling like there's not enough of you. And Spirit's saying that's not true. There's an abundance. Deceit, we have Queen of Cups. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. It's almost like Spirit saying you're the divine feminine. It's the divine feminine, just like the divine masculine has responsibility and duty, the divine feminine also has responsibility and duty. And the divine feminine's responsibility is to love unconditionally. All right. I know we're reading for Sagittarius, but I'm definitely picking up strong water energy. So Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. If you're not dealing with anybody with those energies, I would recommend looking on your own chart. Where are those areas for you? Sagittarius, a forgotten dream will resurface. Pursue it. A sacred ritual will bring you clarity is on the bottom. Mythology to close it out. A forgotten dream will resurface. Pursue it. Love. It's love. For Pete's sake, Sagittarius. A time for healing comes out. The Boss McMoon. All right. I'm going to leave it right there. I hope that was helpful. Guys, make sure you're tapping that like button for me. The hearts over on the TikTok. All the things. I appreciate you guys. Where is my... that's awful. All right, I'm going to clean up really quickly, and then we're going to move on to the water signs. Practically Tragic joining us on Twitch. Welcome. Ooh, them fire signs were fire. I wonder what that means about the water signs. All right. Oh, I love it. Thank you. Practically Tragic says no like button over here, but have some hearts. Each platform is different. I will say, like, before I found TikTok, I was definitely soggy. What's soggy? The water signs. But I was definitely like, I love the community on Twitch. Everybody has always been so kind to me and so nice over there. You know what I'm saying? It's always been like super, super cool. All right. TikTok's very similar. I will say TikTok's very similar. Vanessa joining us on Facebook. Welcome. All right, guys, here we go. Water signs. Let's do Cancer. Let's do 4955 because I seen it. And remember, this is for the week of August 23rd through the 29th. Your biggest cosmic influence is definitely going to be the Pisces Lunar Eclipse. So let's see how that energy is going to play out for Cancer. I think Spencer likes to walk back and forth because he's wondering why I'm talking to the wall. Caleb, welcome. All right, here we go. Energy of the week for Cancer. The Black Moon comes out. It says a rare and mysterious phase that invites you to explore the unseen and embrace transformation, mystery, rebirth, and hidden forces. All right, let's pull energy of the week. You know what this is giving me? This is giving me strong Pisces lunar eclipse. It even looks almost like a lunar eclipse, right? But that's the energy that it's giving me. Strong Pisces lunar eclipse. Something very spiritual could be happening for you, Cancer. All right, let's pull challenge or obstacle. We have envy coming out in reverse. It's just me. All right, so the envy card says that someone wants something that you have, or you want something that someone else has. I think it's coming out in reverse because somebody wants something that you have. So that tells me, Cancer, that there could be people around you that are envious. When I turned the card over, I immediately felt like people were sending you like envious energy. I'm so glad Spirit's letting me share this with everybody. All right, here we go. Ready? Okay. This is why it was coming out in reverse, Cancer. You could have people around you that want something you have. So they're envious and they have envious energy and they send negative energy towards you because they have that envy. They could be doing it consciously or they could be doing it subconsciously. I learned something this week, guys. I learned something very, very valuable. I just got to share it with a dear friend, and I'm so glad that I'm getting to share it with all of you tonight. All right. So here's what I learned this week. Ready? I learned that we have attachments to everyone that we experience in our life, from our, science teacher in 10th grade to our first, love, to our children, to our bosses, to our friends, to our every single person that we meet, we have a connection, an attachment to. We are experiencing them for a reason. Everything happens for a reason. There is no such thing as a coincidence. It's not all for nothing. God is very, very highly intelligent. Everything is very intricate and very purposeful. Okay. So when you have people around you that are not necessarily have good intentions for you or sending you good energy, what you can do, most people will tell you, oh my gosh, remember Practically Tragic, remember when we were talking about the red cord theory? You remember that? Okay, so I've been seeing the red cord a lot in my everyday experiences, like Spirit's showing me these connections, these different entanglements with all these different people, right? Okay, and what people will tell you is, what most people will say is, to cut the cord. How many of you have heard that you need to cut the cord? If you're on the same type of spiritual awakening journey that I'm on, you've probably tried to cut the cord with that specific person and it didn't work, right? I do believe like it just doesn't. There's a reason that that person awakened you. There's a reason you can't cut the cord, right? But can you cut the cord with other people? Yes, absolutely you can. Okay, let's just use all the words so there's no confusion. If you're on a twin flame spiritual awakening journey, do not go pay some guru fake Lulu Lala person $200 to do some spell to cut a cord for you, because I promise you that when you wake up, you're still going to feel that person because they awakened you and it's never going to go away. I've not learned any way to do it. I've tried all the ways. I've paid all the Lulu Lalas. Don't waste your money. Don't do it. Okay. But other people, of anybody else other than the awakener, right? Anybody else, people will say, cut the cord. And you can cut that cord and you can walk away. You can do that. But There's another way. Are you ready? Ooh, Miss L. I love how Miss L says cutting grows back. That's very possible. All right, ready? Ready? What if you alchemized the cord? Miss L says block it. Okay. What if you didn't even do that? What if you alchemized the cord? What if you took the energy that they were sending you and you knowingly alchemized that energy? So, in other words, instead of walking up and cutting that cord, and then that person gets to go off with all the energy they've stolen from you and nothing happens to them, they just go on and find some other person to feed off. What if you walk back to that cord and instead of cutting it, now you alchemize? Now you start taking all of that envy that they're sending your way and you turn it into fuel. You turn it into the fire that you need to light your ass and get moving. Do you see what I'm saying? What if you alchemize that energy? Cancer. There's someone around you that wants something that you have. They're not willing to do the work to get it themselves. Instead of cutting that cord, start alchemizing that cord. Start letting their envy fuel your fire. The sun comes out. Confirmation, potential outcome, all tied up. All tied up says that you could be potentially pretending like you're so busy that you can't deal with something because you know that it's going to be hard to deal with. This could be the week that you finally face whatever this is. Nama says, I did that with Sergio. Absolutely. Practically Tragic says, that's what I do when I put up my protective barriers. I take all negative and dark energies being sent my way. I alchemize and transmute them into beneficial energy. Love, 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 love. All right, here we go. Cancer, let's look at that black moon. Eight of Swords, a self-restriction, telling yourself that you can't do something. I think something is keeping you stuck. And I think that something is keeping you stuck is the thing that you're going to have to face. But I think instead of cutting it off or the ugly thing that you think it's going to turn into, I think you can actually alchemize that energy and it doesn't have to be as bad as you think it's going to turn out. The Lovers comes out. Whoa. Okay, so that's Gemini energy. That says that, okay, so if I'm talking to a Cancer who's dealing with a Gemini, then that's where this energy is coming from, or that's where this energy is going, right? The Lover says that, and if you're not dealing with a Gemini, again, look on your chart. Mine's 12th house, so that makes sense for me. But anyway, the Lover says that you know you're going to have to choose yourself, and that could be where you're struggling. All right, the Sun is about happiness. I want to point out the pool of water. I keep hearing this, and I don't know why. Ever since I started reading tarot, I came out and I've taught you. I try to teach you guys what they mean, how to do it yourself, so that everybody can have the same whatever, right? Every once in a while I hear something and I think it's because like it's for me, but I think sometimes I'm just supposed to say it so that whoever is out there trying to read or do it for themselves can like understand why they're seeing something. But if you're reading tarot for yourself or you're seeing like pools of water, it's definitely like it's when source is trying to tell you that some type of cleansing is needed. Some type of purification is needed. If you're feeling like burdened, heavy, like you can't find joy and happiness, some type of cleansing is needed, some type of purification. All right, the Empress is here. So it's not going to be you, Cancer, because you're the Empress. You're the connection to source, right? That's how come you know that there's someone around you that wants something that you have. All right, all tied up. So here's the thing. Do you actually face it? Seven of Wands, you do. So Seven of Wands is defending yourself. It's like standing your ground. It's fighting for something. You're going to fight for something. I think what you're going to fight for is the Lovers. All right, let's pull some guidance. A hidden talent will soon be discovered. It says nurture it. On the bottom, your intuition is your greatest guide. Trust your inner voice. All right, let's do one more with the Moonology and we'll close it out for Cancer. Surrender to the divine. All right, I'm going to leave it right there, Cancer. I hope that reading was helpful. We're going to clean up and we're going to move on to Scorpio. Are we at Scorpio already? I say that and I look up and see that we're an hour in. This has went by so fast. But I yawned so much before this live that I knew it was going to be like a takeover. Spirit had a lot to say. All right. Let's do 101.15 for Scorpio. Remember, we're looking at August 23rd through the 29th. I should mention that this is also the kickoff of Virgo season. That may be specific just for Scorpio. I mean, everybody, it's the kickoff of Virgo season, but maybe Scorpio needs to know that for some reason. We also have the Pisces Lunar Eclipse. It's coming in on the 23rd. All right, guys, we did talk all about that energy on Wednesday night. We also did a pick a card with that energy on Monday. So if you guys missed any of the lives this week, you can find them over on my YouTube channel under the live tab. YouTube is definitely picking on Rosa this week. So if you want to help me out and support the channel, that would be greatly appreciated. All right, Scorpio, let's pull. Ooh, 2 cards come out. Ooh, the number 11. Yeah. Okay, so we have number 2 and number 11. Scorpio is my counterpart energy. So the person that awakened me every time I read for Scorpio, that's what I feel. Now I have Scorpio in the 5th house, which is joy, romance, and children as well. All right, so Scorpio, you have the snowman. Take a moment to pause and learn or clear your mind, reflect on where you are and prepare for what's coming next. So definitely something like coming towards you. It says rest, deflection, and clarity. We also have the fog moon. So pretty interesting that it says clarity on this card. And it's number 11. So we all know 2, 11, twin vibes, right? The fog moon calls for deep introspection, helping you find clarity in confusion and revealing hidden truths as you navigate the unknown. Again, clarity, introspection, which is about going within, finding the answers within, and a mystery. I do feel like you're trying to solve some type of mystery. Most likely it's going to be a spiritual mystery. It's both full moon, so it's like most likely you're the Pisces lunar eclipse is going to like illuminate something for you that has to do with your spiritual awakening, your spiritual journey. All right, let's pull some energy oracle. And let's see what else we can get for Scorpio. Oh, I love that. Thank you. Practically Tragic says, let me go make sure I'm following you on YouTube. When I first started multi-streaming, Spirit told me to multi-stream, and nobody was doing it at the time. I'd started in 2020. Now everybody's multi-streaming. But I can't get monetized on Twitch because we multi-stream. We're monetized on the other 3 platforms. Twitch is the only holdout so far. I just keep waiting for them to change their rules. But everybody told me, said, Rosa, you're never going to get somebody to go from one platform to another. People are going to watch you on the platform that they enjoy. And most of the time, the people that Spirit has drawn to me that are on the same type of awakening or experiencing the same type of things, go and find me on one platform, and then they follow me on all the platforms. I've always found that really, really interesting. All right, let's look at challenge or obstacle for Scorpio. Scorpio's like, stop talking. Okay, I get it. Number 18 comes out, anxiety. So there is definitely something like heading your way. There's something you feel like you can't see it clearly. There's a little mystery to it, which is kind of giving me like a little bit of a scary vibe. I'm not trying to scare anybody or anything like that, but like maybe you're dealing with something that is very spiritual and you don't have like the knowledge or the understanding. So it's giving you like a scary vibe to it. It's making you anxious or fearful. It's in your challenges or obstacle. All right, lesson learned to help you with that challenge or obstacle is victory. So a great victory is on its way. I do feel like something's headed towards you. You're fearful of it, but I don't think it's bad. I don't know why you think it's bad or why you're fearful of it. But it does have something to do with your family, something to do with like your immediate family. We have number 4, happy family. And whenever I see this card in the Energy Oracle, it reminds me of Ten of Cups and the Rider-Waite Tarot. So it's like, the like you always see them like the under the rainbow. What is it that I always say? Like happy family, happy life. That type of energy. All right, contract is on the bottom. So Scorpio, most likely you see the blindfold. Most likely you are going to learn something about your spiritual path, your spiritual journey. Spirit's going to show you something. I think that you're worried about something happening in your family, and Spirit's going to give you some type of victory. I do feel that it is because you're following your contract. You are experiencing your awakening. You are surrendering to the divine, all of those things. All right. I heard surrendering to your purpose as well. All right, Scorpio. Let's look at that snow moon, fog moon with the purple moon tarot. There's lots of moon stuff happening over here. All right. We have King of Cups. This is my clue card for Divine Masculine. This is also about getting your emotions in check. I just want to point out that at the beginning of this reading, I said that the person who awakened me, which would be my counterpart energy, which would be my Divine Masculine energy, was a Scorpio, right? So how interesting that King of Cups comes out. It's confirmation from Spirit for me. But King of Cups says that you're allowing, you want to be, a friend of mine taught me this word, stoic. You want to be stoic. You don't want your emotions to override like your actions or your behavior. You don't want to be fearful to a point that you lose what should have been a victory. Does that make sense? When it comes, there's something that you're worried about in your family, and there's no loss here. You're worrying about something that you shouldn't have to worry about. 9 of Wands is here. This is, you've done something, okay, don't take this the wrong way, Scorpio, but you've had this anxiety for a while, and there's this energy of, I keep doing the same thing the same way, but I'm expecting a different result. 9 of Wands. All right, so maybe you do something a little different. Victory, we have 8 of Pentacles. Focus, dedication. I think that's why you're getting this victory. Okay, Scorpio, something good is coming. It's in your favor. Like the universe is working in your favor. This is good for you. It's making you very anxious and very nervous. I feel like you're having to like get out of your comfort zone. You've been doing something the same way for a really long time, and now it's like it's almost like you're getting put into some type of like spotlight, limelight. It's almost like people are looking, or maybe it's just Spirit. It's like you're worried about like, are you doing your job correctly? Are you focused enough? Are you dedicated enough? It's that kind of energy, and Spirit saying yes. All right, we have 10 of Wands coming out. Happy family, whatever is happening in your family situation that you're so worried about that's causing all this anxiety and all this energy, Spirit's asking you to lay it at his feet. Spirit doesn't want you to worry about whatever you think this burden is that's happening in your family. Spirit wants you to focus on your purpose and your dedication to what it is that you've been doing. All right, let's pull a guidance card for Scorpio. All right, we have a guardian spirit watches over you. Feel their presence. Oh my God, what confirmation. Do you know why that spirit watches over you? because you're having this type of spiritual awakening. And people think that it's our, like, we wanted to do this. People don't realize that we went through trauma and we experienced a spiritual awakening. And then we chose God. We chose to listen to God when we were in our dark night of the soul, and He plucked us out of that dark night of the soul and gave us the opportunity to rebirth ourselves as long as we followed our purpose. Scorpio, as long as you continue to follow your purpose, you are favored. You are protected. I don't know what has you so worried about your family, but pray and leave it at God's feet. Don't let it weigh you down and cause you a loss when the victory is already yours. Moonology to close it out for Scorpio. Step out of your comfort zone. It's the North Node. Meditate and contemplate. New moon in Pisces is on the bottom. Guys, this is the full moon in Pisces. It's a lunar eclipse. It's a very powerful lunation. I hope this reading was helpful, Scorpio. All right, I'm going to clean up and we're going to move on to Pisces. Pisces, this is your moon. So if you had strong Pisces placement, sun, moon, rising, right? I would say rising especially. This moon is either kicking your ass or you're riding like a wave of like magic, miracles. You know what I mean? All right, let's find out. All right, Pisces, 11144, because I seen it and I'm just saying 11144 is definitely giving me the 144,000, right? I love that people believe that that's like, yeah, I'm not even going to get into that. Never mind. But beautiful, beautiful numerology, number synchronicity there. Hi, Pisces, this is your very spiritual moon. It is peaking on the 27th, late 27th, early 28th, depending on where you are in the world. Let's start with your energy of the week for Pisces. We have waning crescent moon, a time of introspection, rest, preparation for a new cycle ahead. I want to mention that Pisces is the last sign. This is bringing closure. Who said that? Somebody said closure earlier. And this moon is definitely bringing closure. That does not mean that you're going to get divorced or that you're going to lose your job or that none of that. It doesn't mean any of that. It just means that the old way of doing something is done. The old belief system is done. Now there's a new belief system. Now there's a new way. Does that make sense? I'm not trying to make money in the stock market. People send me the weirdest texts when I'm trying to do a live. It's like, what? All right. Let's look at your... I'm not joking, I swear. Let's look at the main spread. All right, Pisces, some type of renewal, some type of rebirth, some type of closure. We have journey, and oh my God, is it in reverse? Yes, yes, it is. This is about feeling stuck. This is about feeling like you're not sure which direction you're supposed to go. The point of the journey card, do you see her luggage? Do you see how she's kind of like dropping the luggage? It kind of gives me that like, you know, when people say something that's like real fancy or whatever, they'll say like, you know, mic drop. It's kind of like that. So you're experiencing the opposite of that, right? Because it's in reverse and it's in your challenges or obstacles. Because you're not releasing some baggage. Oh my God, this is so interesting. Pisces, the word is dead weight. I'm just saying. That's what that is. A big heavy luggage of something from your past that needs to be left in the past. Oh my goodness, Pisces. You're going to have to drop it. Let it go. That's why you feel stuck. That's why the card came out in reverse. Let's look at lesson learned to help you with that challenge or obstacle, cornucopia. You could literally have everything you want if you release the baggage of the past. Oh my gosh, I should stop being mean. Okay, Pisces, it may not necessarily be a person, but it could be like a belief system. Like maybe you believe that you weren't good enough to take a certain path. Like maybe you believe that because I don't know, maybe your parents were mean to you and they didn't like, cheer you up and they didn't tell you how smart you were and how good you are and what you're capable of doing. Maybe it's because your friends are not very, I don't know, good or helpful or, whatever. For some reason, you have some belief system that you have to stay where you are and you have to keep believing everything that you've always believed. There's some energy here that says, I can't change and I can't pick a different path. And Spirit's saying, bullshit. Not only can you not pick a different path, but you can pick, like any path you pick would be better. All right. Potential outcome for Pisces. Community. Pay attention to the people around you, Pisces. If you feel like you're being brought down, it's going to be the people around you. I'm not saying, again, that you have to cut the cords. I'm saying alchemize the energy they're sending you. If you can't leave, if you're surrounded by energy that is causing you frustration, overwhelm, making you feel like you're stuck, start alchemizing that energy. Turn it into what you actually want. Community says find like-minded people, people who support you, people who encourage you, people who believe you, people who are on your freaking team. All right, waxing crescent moon, some type of closure, some type of rebirth. Page of Wands, it's the very beginning. You need to take one step. It's like you're in a loop and you just need to like break the loop. You need to just go one step a different way. Four of Wands, 1111, cornucopia, number 11. Spirit saying you don't have to be stuck. You don't have to be stuck. You can create the foundation, the life that you want if you surround yourself by the right people. If you surround yourself with people that are going to bring you down, then that's what you're going to experience. If you allow it. If you allow it. Seven of Pentacles. It's my shit show card. It also says, be patient. You didn't invest all your time there for nothing. Community, 10 of Cups. This is about getting the things that you want. This is about emotional contentment. This is that happy home, happy family card. Pay attention, Pisces, to who is in your inner circle. Pay attention to the people that are jealous and envious of what you have in your home life. They're not emotionally content. They're not happy with what shit they have. And that's why they're causing you so many problems. All right, here's the guidance. A sacred ritual will bring you clarity and insight. You definitely need clarity and insight when it comes to your inner circle. Your spirit guides are near. Seek their guidance. I love that one. All right, let's do Moonology to close it out for Pisces. A personal issue will reach a resolution. It's full moon in Cancer. Confidence is your key to success. It's new moon in Leo. All right, Pisces, I'm going to leave it right there. I hope that reading was helpful. That's going to be the water signs. Let's clean up and we're going to move on to the earth signs, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. I have Venus in Pisces. I can actually look really quickly. Let's see. Nama. There you are. You do have Venus in Pisces at 1 degree. You also have Mars in Pisces at 10 degrees. That's very interesting. The fact that you have both and they're just almost conjunct. I love being able to have this extra camera and have access to my phone. It's so cool. So if I've done your chart, I'm able to like pull it up right here and look at it. You know what I mean? It's freaking awesome. Before my phone was my camera, so you know, I wasn't able to do that. All right, Taurus. All right, I gotta breathe. I feel like it's going so fast, but it's not. We're over an hour, hour and a half in. We're only halfway. Have mercy. Practically Tragic says Venus in Pisces sounds so dreamy. I actually have Venus in Pisces in the last degree. It's 29, so it's like right before Aries, and then I have Mars at I think it's 4 degrees Aries. So I'm telling you guys, we're so much alike. Every last one of us. It's no joke, and that's why like it feels so comforting when we like hang out and do these lives. That's why you can understand my words and it doesn't feel like I'm talking Japanese, you know what I'm saying? It's because we're so much alike and we're experiencing a lot of the same experiences. So that's how come it's like we can understand each other's pain. You know what I mean? All right, there's something for Taurus. It's like a warning. I say that because I got one of those stupid warning things popped up on my restream for sound. Let me know how the sound is, guys. Um, but for Taurus, like I feel like the fire signs and water signs were like fast paced. Um, I feel like I went through it so fast, like I don't remember them. So that a lot of channeling. You know how like when you're driving and you get to somewhere and you don't remember like the last few turns and you're like, man, how did I make it here? You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like that. And then when I got to the earth signs, I don't know if it's just Taurus or if it's like, from here on or what's going to happen. But I definitely got this like sit down, slow down, um, pay attention. There's definitely a shift in energy. All right, let's timestamp. Let's do Taurus. Let's do 123.53. And remember, we're looking at the week of August 23rd through the 29th. The 23rd could be significant for you. The 27th and 28th is when we're having that Pisces lunar eclipse. I'm going to start out with Moonlit Legend. So let's pull your energy of the week. Let's see why it feels like everything just kind of slowed down, came to a screeching halt. All right, we have full moon in Sagittarius. It says, embrace your visions for the future and expand your horizons. Freedom, vision, and expansion. It's like the complete opposite of what I'm feeling. I'm feeling like June or like tune in, or like I'm seeing like a tunnel vision, like there's too much going on and you need to narrow it in. All right, let's see if I'm right. Challenge or obstacle, we have broken heart. Excuse me, so sorry. I'm actually getting like choked up. What sign are we doing? Taurus? Whoa. All right, I got a cough. That was so weird. Like I totally got choked up. My eyes got watery. I started coughing. I think the cards are pretty clear. Just not a lot of explaining that needs to be done here. You clearly went through some type of heartbreak. I got the message pretty clearly, Taurus. You know how like, you know how when something hurts you, you know how when you break up from a relationship and then you get into another relationship too quickly because you don't want to heal or feel the pain from the breakup of the other relationship, so you kind of like rebound. You know what I'm talking about? It's giving that. Freedom is your energy of the week. Broken heart is your challenge or obstacle, which means that you're healing from something. And this isn't something that just happened, because you've been healing. You see that? You've been healing for some time. You're down here. All of this part is closed up and mending. This part, this gap is still open. So it's like you've been healing from whatever this is, Taurus. And I mean, I know what it is because Carrying Connections is here, but it's in reverse. Carrying Connections in the Energy Oracle talks about two people. It's a very specific card. It says two people meet in a work environment, in some type of team environment. People believe that they're in a relationship because they're so close and they work so well together and yada yada. And they're actually not in a relationship. But because they're so charismatic, like because they get along so well, because their energy vibes so well with the other, their relationship does start to become stronger, right? And it says that the intention, like that was never the intention of these two people for this relationship to become so strong, right? That's the energy of Carrying Connection. It's in your challenges, it's in your lesson learned to help you with your challenge or obstacle, but it's coming out in reverse. The Garden and the Gate is your potential outcome. The Garden and the Gate, there's two cards in the Energy Oracle. There's the Walking Away card, and then there's the Garden and the Gate card. They're two very similar cards. One of them, she's standing inside the gate, this one, and she's wearing that key. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a key around her neck, and the gate is locked. So she has the opportunity to open that gate whenever she wants, but she chooses to leave that gate shut because she feels safe in her garden, right? So she's like, I'm not going out there into that great expansion because I don't know what's out there. I don't know what's going to happen to me. So I'm just going to keep myself locked up. This is giving strong, like, what was that other reading where it was like the person locked their heart away? You know what I'm trying to say? Was it Sagittarius? Because it was like they had went through so much pain This is giving that same type of vibe, Taurus. The problem is that the action card is on the bottom. So this tells me that overall, this is the energy. You're moving too quickly. You're going too fast. That's why Spirit made me slow down before we started these readings. There's something, okay, so the action card says you're moving so fast. These horses are running so fast that there's a blur and you can't see something clearly because you're going too quickly. And I think, I'm not trying to be mean or like whatever, but it's giving like strong rebound energy. And let's say this isn't a relationship. Let's say this isn't about a person. Let's say this is like a job. Let's say you had a job you really liked and you were like, man, I really like this job. Something happens, you have to leave, you have to move, maybe you get fired, who the fuck knows? Oh, I don't know why I just said that. I'm so sorry. Oh my goodness. But anyway, it's like something happens and you have to heal from that. But instead of healing from that, you're jumping to all these other ones instead. Oh, I'm just gonna go get another job. But I mean, screw. Why am I cussing? Have mercy, help me out. Anyway, Taurus. It's like a bull in a china shop. I think you're gonna have to open the gate. I think that you're going to have to go out into the great expansion. I think you've learned your lesson. I think that you're not going to make the same choices again. I think it's okay to like sit with something, be with something. You don't have to go and replace it right away. Maybe the reason that it keeps not working is because you're not sitting with it long enough so that it will heal. Just maybe. All right, here we go. Taurus. Queen of Pentacles. Queen of Pentacles is responsibility. It's also resources. It's also resources. So if you're looking for freedom and you're struggling to find a new resource, Spirit's saying you become your own resource. Broken heart, we have Seven of Wands. Again, guarding yourself, protecting yourself. Caring connection, we have Six of Swords. This was so Six of Swords is being guided by Spirit. So it's like this situation had purpose. There's reason. It doesn't mean that you can lock yourself up and not heal. It doesn't mean that you ignore it and move on to like the next situation. Spirit is trying to guide you. I'm being told to tell you, Taurus, that Spirit is always trying to guide you and what's best for you. It's not even for those around you. It's what's best for you. Garden and the gate, we have the Five of Swords. It's like you're scared. It's like you're scared to open the gate and go out into the expansion. And the walking away card, the expansion that she's opening the gate and going to is Spirit, is source, is her awakening, is purpose. And it's like, I'm scared to go out there for whoever did this to you. And so you tell yourself you can't. It's almost like you cause your own fear with your thoughts, with your words. And I'm also like, man, what is all this? But you could also even be like replaying someone else's words, and that's what keeps you stuck. All right. Let's pull guidance. I feel so dehydrated. A mystical revelation will bring you clarity. A forgotten spell will bring you unexpected blessings. Let's do the Moonology to close it out for Taurus. Communication is key. New moon in Gemini. Your dreams need a practical plan is on the bottom. Virgo season is here. So that's going to give us all the practicality that we can need. All right, I'm going to leave that there, Taurus. I hope that reading was helpful. I'm going to clean up and we're going to move on to Virgo. That Taurus one was a little hard. There's something about needing to slow down, but at the same time, you can't keep yourself stuck. I think Spirit wants you to keep moving forward, but you can't like replay the past or something. All right, here we go. Virgo, let's do 135.53. It's funny, the 53. I saw 53 today a couple of times as well. 53 was my son's football number. Both of my sons, my oldest and my youngest, both played football, and they were both number 53. All right, Virgo, so this is your season. August 23rd through the 29th. August 23rd kicks off Virgo season. Of course, the biggest cosmic influence could be your season kicking off, but I got a feeling it's going to be that Pisces Lunar Eclipse coming in on the 27th, 28th, depending on where you're at in the world. All right, new moon in Scorpio comes out as your energy of the week, and it says, dive deep into your emotions and embrace transformative changes. Transformation, depth, and rebirth. I feel like we've been experiencing that a lot. I feel like it has to do with that Pisces lunar eclipse, again, because Pisces is the last sign, and we are experiencing a lot of closure with this particular lunar eclipse. All right, let's pull challenge or obstacle for Virgo. You definitely could be dealing with a Scorpio. If you're not, I would say, where is Scorpio on your chart? All right, so I seen this card when I split it. When I split the deck to get ready to shuffle, I saw the 7th chakra. Archangel Uriel, it's number 41. This is your connection to source. Virgo, I'm just going to tell you right away. I already know how this reading is going to go. It's the over analysis paralysis. It's where you think something too much or you overthink something to the point that you make no move. All right. Lesson learned to help you with the challenge or obstacle. We have storm warning and potential outcome. We have rest and rejuvenation. A storm will come. This is definitely giving like tower energy, Virgo. I'm not going to lie about that. Whenever you experience a storm warning or tower moment, it's an opportunity to clear out an obstacle. In other words, like let's say this is a tower card. In other words, like there's this, you're going down this path and there's this huge tower in your way and you can't see through it. You can't get around it. So Spirit's going to completely remove the tower so that you can continue forward on your path. All right. All right. Rest and rejuvenation is just that. All right, let's look at new moon in Scorpio. Dive deep into your emotions and embrace transformative change. We have Page of Pentacles. This is about a new path or a new journey. This is about wanting to start over. This is about wanting a clean slate. It's like you're tired, Virgo. It's like you're feeling exhausted. It's this energy of, I've been going down this route for so long. I want something different to happen. Let's look at 7th chakra, your connection to source. We have the world. This is about, you feel like maybe you're not getting any new opportunities. You feel like you're repeating old cycles. It's in your challenges or obstacles. If it was here, I'd say the complete opposite, right? But it's in your challenges or obstacles. So there's something that you're concerned about when it comes to your connection to source. But the energy, okay, so just because you think that you're having some issue with your connection to source. Like maybe, for example, you're like, man, things aren't coming or working out for me. Maybe I'm not getting new opportunities. And I think it's because source doesn't have my back, or because I'm not connected to source, or I can't hear source, God, spirit, whatever label you got to put there. But that's actually not true. Just because this is what you feel doesn't mean that this is factual. Does that make sense? So spirit's like telling me that, yes, this is your challenge or obstacle. You feel like you have lost your connection to source, but that's not true. That's not true at all. Now, is it possible that you've missed out on opportunities because you weren't listening to source? Yes, absolutely. And then what happens when we don't listen and we don't listen and we don't listen and we don't listen? Spirit only lets us get away with that shit for so long. And then you know what happens? Bam, tower moment. And I think for Virgo, overanalysis paralysis. You overthink something to the point that I literally got a headache right before we started Virgo reading, but I didn't want to say anything about it because a lot of times when you say about like the experiences that you're having, people think it's something else, but it's usually my connection to whoever it is that I'm reading, right? So it's like you're giving yourself a headache, stressing about something and telling yourself that like, oh, spirit must not, the universe doesn't have my back. God doesn't love me. I guess it's just not meant for me. I'm just going to keep repeating the same thing and the same whatever. No, not true. Stop thinking that. Stop overthinking the things to the point that you cause yourself like worry and stress. There's something in your way that you didn't remove. So now spirit's going to come and remove it for you, Virgo. All right, Four of Pentacles is here. Four of Pentacles literally says you have to let something go. You have to release something. You're clutching onto something so tightly that you're not allowing the energy to flow. Spirit will come and open your hand for you. Rest and rejuvenation. The devil comes out. You're going to have to remove yourself from all karmic ties. You're probably going to find yourself in a lot of solitude when it comes to this Virgo season. You're going through a cleansing. You're going through a purification. Spirit's expecting you to remove everything because he's causing the tower moments. We don't cause tower moments. We can't make obstacles go away like that. Only God can. Only God can. You're going to break free from something that has been weighing you down. All right, let's pull some guidance. Capricorn energy coming out strongly with that devil card. If you're not dealing with a Capricorn, then I would say look on your chart. Where is Capricorn for you? Guys, your chart is literally like a navigation map. You know what I mean? A new chapter is beginning. No joke. Embrace the change. You're going to have to let go of that grip. And the thing is every time we grip onto something, if whether it's a person, a place, or a thing, and we're like, oh, I can't let this go. I can't let this go. I got to sit here and wait until spirit causes a freaking tower moment. And then the whole world explodes. And then I'm forced to face the thing that I didn't want to face anyway. Most of the time, it's not every time. It's not even that bad. You see what I'm saying? It's like we build something up to be something way worse than it actually has to be. And then spirit has to come in, clean up the work, and show you that it was never that bad. And had you done it sooner, you'd have been resting and rejuvenated a lot earlier. Does that make sense? All right, last card. Don't let your past hold you back. It's the South Node. Virgo, I'm going to leave it right there. Guys, the nodes are changing as well. So that's super interesting. I don't know. I feel like what's happening for all the signs is like we can't like, oh, I almost said a bad word. Like we can't just like walk on eggshells. We can't like 1 foot in and 1 foot out. Like spirit's expecting us to be like fully committed now. This is no longer a play around joke. We've all gotten far enough in our journey that it's our turn to turn around and help the other people coming in. You know what I mean? We're not new anymore. All right, Capricorn is next. Let's do 144.11 because I waited for it. I like the 144 again, right? Who did we see that 144,000? Who did we see that for? It was for Pisces. So Pisces and Capricorn, how interesting, especially with the squares that are happening. Oh my goodness. All right, let's start. So Capricorn, this is going to be for the week of August 23rd through the 29th. Biggest cosmic influence is definitely going to be that Pisces full moon lunar eclipse. All right, so your energy of the week says overflowing full moon. This Pisces full moon lunar eclipse is so powerful. It will definitely feel like spirituality is just overflowing. You know what I'm saying? All right, it says your efforts culminate in abundance and success. Celebrate the overflowing rewards of your dedication. I love how it has the same word I just used. Abundance, completion, and celebration. All right, let's see what that is about for Capricorn. Overflowing full moon. I'm seeing a number 7. That could be significant to somebody. Dang, did you see how that card just flew out? All right, Capricorn, you're questioning whether you're going the wrong way. You're questioning whether it's too late to turn around. You're questioning whether you're on the right path. You're questioning whether you've done something wrong. You're questioning whether you're redeemable. You're questioning whether you could be questioning why spirit chose you. That happens a lot, right? We have these awakenings, and it's always people that always felt like they had done something that wasn't redeemable, right? For me, I think it was all my drinking and the booze and my poor choices in that time. You know what I'm saying? But it's like we're always redeemable. Remember when I asked us that question? Like I was like, "What? When do we know when someone's not redeemable?" That there's no such thing. There's absolutely no such thing. So if you're questioning Capricorn, did I make a mistake? Did I go down the wrong path? Am I taking too long? All of that. None of that is true. Spirit is saying that you're exactly where you're supposed to be. This isn't your challenges or obstacles because you're questioning everything. You're so worried that you've made a mistake. You're so worried that you've gone too far, that you'll never find overflow, that you'll never experience abundance again. And Spirit saying that's not true. That's not true. Again, just because you think something does not make it factual. All right, let's pull lesson learned. We have 4th chakra. This is the heart chakra. I know we want to be like, this is our connection to source, or like this, it's the crown chakra. But this is how we communicate with one another. You know how we were just talking earlier about how we all feel a connection, or like when we watch certain people, we feel like, oh, we understand what they're saying because we're experiencing those type of experiences, right? We experience that oneness with each other, that connection with each other through our heart chakra. Through our heart chakra. That's how we communicate. That's how we send energy flows back and forth. With Spirit, it's through the crown chakra. All right, let's look at, I'm definitely getting like heart chakra cleansing. I'm getting like I'm talking to like a hard Capricorn who's having to learn to become softer. Man holding a coin comes out. Man holding a coin says someone comes into your environment and tells you how valuable you are, shows you your worth. It's very possible that you learn your worth this week with this overflowing Pisces lunar eclipse full moon. All right, let's clarify a little bit for Capricorn. She said the heart chakra connection thing made me think of Donnie Darko. Somebody told me to watch that. Actually, I want to say that somebody did have me watch that movie, and I didn't pay attention. And it's definitely one of those things where it's like I should have. Yeah, I know. And then I hear about it, like other people will mention it to me over and over until I actually sit down and watch it again. You know what I'm saying? And actually like pay attention. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I know. It's weird how my life works, let me tell you. All right, Knight of Swords comes out. There's a breakup. There's some type of liberation, breaking free from something or someone. The Temple Path, you're on the right path. You have Knight of Wands. Knight of Wands says don't be reckless. Okay, let's say you were reckless. Let's say you went down a path and, okay, let me start from the very beginning, Capricorn. The way Spirit has explained it to me is our life, our path, our journey is like it's like a line, right? It's like we're on this road, we're on this map, right? And like there's curves and bends and twists and And sometimes we go completely off the rails and just like detour off and go all the way out here somewhere, and we learn something, and then we go through some trial or tribulation, and then we come back like into alignment, like spirit pulls us back, some tower moment happens, we have like spiritual alignment, and we get back to where we're supposed to be, right? And people call those derailments, or like those going off the path moments, they call those mistakes. But I've always said that spirit told me nothing is a mistake. There's a reason I went down the path. There was something I had to learn down there that made me smarter, braver, wiser, all of those things, right? So if you feel like you've detoured off your path, there's a reason for everything. I promise you, there's no, like, things don't happen for nothing. God is so precise. There is a specific reason for every single thing that you've done. There's value in every single choice you've ever made. There's a positive that you can pull from every mistake that you call it, because God doesn't call it a mistake. I promise you. Only we call it mistakes. Only humans call it that. We're the only ones putting ourselves down like that. God loves us unconditionally and knows that there was something down that path that you needed to learn that was going to make you smarter, braver, wiser, whatever the heck it is. You know what I'm saying? Knight of Wands says, don't be reckless, because you don't give up because you think you're not redeemable. Don't quit now because you think you're never going to be like favored. Don't stop trying to be good or better or not reckless. You see what I'm saying? Because you think it's too far, too gone. I dropped a card. The sun comes out, fourth chakra. Again, you could be going through a heart chakra activation. It's a cleansing. It's where God's making you softer. It's where you were really, really hard due to all the pain and trauma and things you experienced. And so God's asking you to not be reckless, to not be mean, to be kinder and softer. I promise you, this is happening to me too, and it gives me a headache just thinking about it. Also, remember that the sun is like, now not in this one, but remember when we seen the sun in the oracles, and I was talking about the pool and the purification. It's like you're going back to the beginning. It's like you have to cleanse yourself of the belief system that you got from a young age to where you are now. You have to go back and understand that, like, it's okay to have that youthful curiosity. It's okay to have that unconditional, you love everybody. It's okay to want to share your happiness with other people. I feel like you've been trying to, like, you haven't been able to do that, or you've struggled to find your own happiness, again, due to thinking that you've went too far off the path, or you're not redeemable, or you can't get it back. It's like there's some issue here with understanding and knowing your worth, your value. It's like spirit has you. That's the thing that keeps coming up for me tonight. Is like, we're all, what's the thing I don't know how to say this. And I'm not trying to be religious or nothing, but like, we're all sinners. Nobody's perfect. We all do bad shit. Like, everybody, nobody, there's not a single person. I used to talk about Mother Teresa, and I used to say that unless you're Mother Teresa that helped all the homeless children, yada, yada, yada. Did you know that spirit had me learn that Mother Teresa apparently stole money from people? Like, what the bleep? You know what I'm saying? But my point here is, nobody is freaking perfect. Everybody does something wrong. God loves you unconditionally. You are always redeemable. You have so much value and so much worth. And if you're sitting there wondering, like, why am I awakening? Who am I to help other people come through the fire? Yada, yada, yada. I promise you, there's going to be something that you did on this path that you thought was a mistake that's going to help somebody else. I promise you that. Seven of Cups is here. New options, new choices, and you can see clearly. All right, let's pull some guidance. Jenny Vlogs, welcome. Okay, let's see what Spirit says for Capricorn. A time of great prosperity is coming. Prepare yourself. Ooh. A powerful transformation is in store. Embrace it. I love that one. All right, Moonology to close it out for Capricorn. It's time to take action. New moon in Aries. Conclusions are within reach. Look at that full moon eclipse. That's what's happening. We have a full moon eclipse the night of the 27th, early morning the 28th, depending on where you are in the world. All right, Capricorn, I'm going to leave it there. I hope that reading was helpful. That's going to be our earth signs as well. So I'm going to clean up and we're going to move on to our air signs, Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. I love seeing everybody in here tonight. I was looking through my analytics, and the all signs has been my highest paid live stream for the last probably 6 weeks. Guys, if you're enjoying the readings, thank you for hanging out with me. Make sure to tap that like button for me if it's pulling at your heartstrings. If you feel like the messages are resonating with your journey, all that good stuff. And guys, if you're looking for a personal reading, you can do so over on my website. And link for that is always in the description box. I know I have like an interesting website. I actually learned that I can now buy, like I can just make it purplelunarose.com. I haven't done that yet. I need to. But I got my website through Fourth Wall. A lot of you probably haven't heard of Fourth Wall because it is actually an up and coming business. It is a platform of websites created by creators for creators. So it's really, really cool. They've also given me some incentive links. So for example, if you decide that you want to create your own website, please reach out to me and let me know. And I have a like an invite link that I can send you, which is new, which is pretty cool. That's how I got on there. And I got invited by another creator. And they do all the work. They create your website. They do all the tech work. Everything's 100% free. You can do merch. I created my merch there. They do all the creation of the merch. They make it, they ship it, they do all the things. And because it is made by creators for creators, you get a lot of your money as other websites keep a larger portion, right? So yeah, if that's something you're interested in, make sure to let me know. But if you're looking for a private reading, you can do that over on my website. And if you're looking for a discount, you can get half off if you become a YouTube member. I do that on purpose to get YouTube off my back. I would say out of all the platforms, TikTok, it's changing. It's clearly changing. But it has been up to this point the funnest. It pays the best. I love the community over there. Facebook pays the least. They're giving me the most trouble, I feel like. But that Zuckerberg dude's been in so much trouble. That's probably why. It used to pay the most. It used to be more than YouTube. And then YouTube is my like long-term investments. I get paid monthly by YouTube. YouTube is what pays most of my bills, most of what I spend my money on. I'm sure I have Gemini. What are you talking about, Gemini? Well, let's look. This has been fun, hasn't it? I'm like, well, let's look. Let's see, Mama. You actually don't. And let me tell you something too. A lot of people will think that if you don't have a planet in a sign, then you don't have to worry about that sign in your life. And I totally disagree with that. I do not believe that's true at all. I think you end up having to find the planet that rules that sign. Like you have to go and find where it's at. And then you have to use all of it together to be able to help you in the house that it's supposed to be in. So I think it actually makes it a little bit more challenging. All right, Gemini is your it's your sixth house. You have your north node at 3 degrees Cancer, so very close. And you have Chiron at 22 degrees Taurus. So you don't have any placements in your Gemini house. Gemini is ruled by Mercury. Mercury is in your second house, Capricorn. Capricorn's ruled by Saturn. Saturn's in your 11th house. So that's boom, boom, boom. And it's sixth house too. So it's like you experience Gemini energy every single day. Every single day. It's also your health and routines. All right, let's timestamp. Let's do 20150 for Gemini. Gemini is my 12th house. So what normally is the house of Pisces is my Gemini. All right, Gemini, we're looking at August 23rd through the 29th. We do have that Pisces Lunar Eclipse popping in late the night of the 27th, early morning 28th, depending on where you are. Your energy of the week is number 4, the rain moon, a time for emotional cleansing and renewal. Renewal, healing, and emotional cleansing. All right, let's pull the energy oracle and see what this is about. The number 4 is what's sticking out to me the most. There's something about your foundation, your roots. All right, we have the thinking woman, number 47. So now we have 447. There's this energy here, a little Virgo energy with the thinking woman, like you could be overthinking something. But there's this energy here, like you're trying to figure something out. It's more than that. It's like you're trying to force something. You're trying to find a way to force something. All right, door to value is your lesson learned to help you with the challenge or obstacle. And then woman holding a heart is going to be your potential outcome. When we see woman holding a heart, number 44, it could be about manifestation. There's a lot of 4s going on here. But it could also be about like when unconditional love is needed. Gemini, you have some high value that has to do with your love, your caring, your nurturing nature. But there's something that you're not seeing clearly. I don't think you're actually overthinking. I think you're not thinking about it enough, or there's no clarity, there's confusion, which is really interesting for Gemini because Gemini is the sign of, it's the two faces, right? A lot of people will say that Gemini is two-faced, and that's actually not true. It just means that Gemini has 2 options where everyone else only has 1 option. Like we only know how to go down this path. Gemini can swap. They're like, nope, this doesn't work for me. I'm going to try it this way. That's Gemini. But with the thinking woman being in your challenges or obstacle, it's like, I think that it's like you're only seeing something one way. There's another way to see something. There's confusion. You're not able to understand something that has to do with your value. All right, the High Priestess comes out with Rain Moon. The High Priestess is your connection to spirit. It's an inner knowing. It's like you have one foot in the spiritual world and one foot in the physical world. The thinking woman, we have Knight of Pentacles. This could have something to do with your work, something that you're dedicated to. This could also say that you've been holding on to the seed, but you actually haven't planted any seeds. Door to value, lesson learned. You have the Hermit. You have some type of like spiritual value. That's why we have the High Priestess here. Woman holding a heart is your potential outcome. We have Four of Swords. Four of Swords is healing and redirection. This one is not coming in clearly. It's this energy of confusion. It's this energy of wanting to do something that's not meant to be, wanting to push something, force something. It's like you're trying to manifest it. You're trying to all the fours. There's 4 fours here. 4, 4, 4, 4, 4 of swords. It's like you're trying to, 4 are your roots, your foundation. And it's like you're trying to force something to be strong in this foundation or to be a certain way. And Spirit's like, you're not going to be able to. You're not going to be able to. You're going to have to redirect. You're going to have to go a different way. And I think the way that you have to go has something to do with your healing. It's like Spirit wants you to focus on your healing. A lot of Virgo energy. All right, Gemini. Let's get some guidance. A mystical encounter will change your path. Be prepared. Your destiny is intertwined with the stars. I love that one. All right, let's do Moonology to close it out for Gemini. It's like you have some value and you don't see it. And it's like Spirit wants you to put that value into yourself. But it's like you're giving it away freely to something else. You're very close to achieving your goal. It's the gibbous moon. Nothing will come of the situation. It's the void of course moon. I get that card a lot, like when we're overthinking or like when you're, again, trying to push something. It's Spirit's way. That's what I was trying to say earlier. It's like we all want it to be like our will, like we want to heal and we want to have spiritual awakening and we want to like use these abilities and all of this stuff. But really, it's Spirit's that wants us to do all this because it's His will. I shouldn't say His either. It's Spirit's will. That's like what we're doing. That's what we're pursuing. So it's like you're overthinking something or you're over worried about something. I think you're over giving is what I think it is. But it's like either way, you're not going to be able to force it. You can't over give and force something to be a certain way. Like it's only going to be that way if Spirit allows it, if it's Spirit's will. All right, I'm going to leave that right there, Gemini. I hope that reading was helpful. Oh, I love that. All right. Libra, it's your turn, Libra. Let's wait for it. Make it an even 210. 210 for Libra. And remember, we're looking at August 23rd through the 29th. Your biggest cosmic influence is, of course, the Pisces Lunar Eclipse, a very spiritual, magical. This is the moon that you want to look for miracles, Libra. Look for miracles. All right, we have reflective gibbous moon. Reflect deeply on your progress and prepare yourself for the final surge forward. All right, let's do the main spread with the energy oracle. And let's look at challenge or obstacle for Libra. We have financial constraints. It may have something to do with money. It doesn't necessarily have to. The financial constraint says that you didn't prepare for something. The book in the energy oracle, it actually says that you kept going to the pantry and you kept taking out of the pantry, but you didn't restock the pantry. So then some emergency happens and you go back to the pantry and it's like, oh man, there's nothing here. I didn't prepare ahead. So it's something about like not preparing ahead for something. And remember, your energy of the week said, reflect deeply on your progress and prepare yourself for the final surge forward towards your goals. All right, lesson learned is Goddess of the Moon. This is about trusting your intuition. And then potential outcome, we do have hostilities coming out. So not an easy week for Libra. We have yin yang on the bottom. All right, so what I'm getting here for Libra, the hostilities is not necessarily that someone's going to fight you, Libra. I mean, it's possible, but I think it's more like people around you may not necessarily be helping. Like they're not, and they may not be doing it on purpose. Like it may not be, that's a lie. If this was deceit, then I would be like, they may not be doing it on purpose. But hostilities is like in your face. So Libra, you could have someone around you that is not necessarily helping you prepare to move forward in some way. And your intuition knows who or what that is. Hostility says that something is going to come against you. You may not be prepared for it, but you need to trust your intuition. You need to trust your gut. That's going to be the answer. Seven of Cups, choices, options, being able to see clearly. Financial constraints, we have 10 of Swords. This is a completion to a painful life cycle. You haven't been able to complete something because you haven't been able to see it clearly, or maybe you haven't prepared for it. Goddess of the Moon, we have Five of Wands. Five of Wands says this is not going to be an easy week for you, Libra, but it does say that you're ready. You have the power. You have the intuitive power. You can ask yourself, where am I supposed to go? What choice should I be making right now? What's about to happen? Where do I need to go? What action do I need to take? And you're going to get those answers. Hostilities, you have King of Swords. This is someone who is struggling to speak their truth. And I'm not talking about you, Libra. This is someone around you who is struggling to speak their truth. They need someone who's walking the line, Libra. They need someone who is doing what they're being told to do. So like if you're telling someone that I need you to be authentic, I need you to hold yourself accountable, I need you to yada yada, then they're expecting the same from you. All right, let's pull some guidance for Libra. A hidden truth will reveal itself soon. Be open to it, it says. And the moon's phases align with your desires. I love that. Make a wish. All right, let's pull Moonology to close it out for Libra. Okay, when I do these readings, it's not to tell you, like Libra, this is the hardest reading we've done so far tonight. These are potential outcomes. You can decide as you work through your week, am I going to trust my gut or am I going to ignore it? Do you see what I'm saying? I promise you, if you ignore it, you're going to experience more hostilities. I promise if you face it, you're going to experience someone that's struggling to be accountable, that needs you to show them how. Through example, a new start is coming. It's the new moon. What do you need to release? The waxing moon is on the bottom. All right, I'm going to leave that right there, Libra. I hope that reading was helpful. All right, guys, we have made it to the last one, 2 hours and 15 minutes later. We've made it to Aquarius. All right, let's timestamp and let's do 2:15:33 because I seen it. All right, Aquarius, this is for August 23rd through the 29th. Your biggest cosmic influence will be that Pisces lunar eclipse. I do want to remind everybody Virgo season is also starting on the 23rd. Please pay attention to the over-analysis paralysis. There's no use in overthinking something and to the point that it makes you stuck and you don't make any moves. It's better to make a move and learn a lesson than it is to just sit there. All right, I don't know if that has anything to do with you, Aquarius, but we're about to find out. All right, number 9 comes out. I've been learning about number 9. Okay, so numerology is a big thing when you're having spiritual awakening. It's a tool, right? Just like astrology, just like tarot, just like all the things, right? So 9 is the number of completion. And it's also a number that like plays out in the universe like a lot. So there's a lot, like maybe you're seeing a lot of 9s. All right, you also have the harvest moon. So it says a moment of fulfillment where efforts will culminate in abundance. Reflect on your journey and express gratitude for the rewards you've earned. Abundance, gratitude, and completion. Aquarius, you've completed some type of like major lesson, major like leveling up energy, and spirit saying that you need to like pat yourself on the back. See the beauty in the lesson. Like, was it painful? Was it hard? Yes. But what did you gain out of the situation? What did you alchemize from the situation? All right, let's do, what are you taking away from the situation? Are you focused on the pain or are you focused on the gratitude from the lesson? Are you focused on the completion of the lesson? All right, challenge. We have 6 chakra. 6 chakra is your brow chakra. This has been coming up a lot. I was just talking about it in the last live. A couple of us have been talking about how when we're having our brow chakra activation, like I permanently have a red mark between my eyebrows. I don't know if it's going to go away. I really hope it does. I wear a lot of makeup to cover it up. It has faded. It has gotten like really light. This happened to me in like February. I do feel that it is a like brow third eye awakening. It's an activation. Ever since this happened to me, it's like I can see people who are lying. I can see people when they're full of it. Like when people tell me like they're a good person, but they have like bad intentions, I can see it right away. If someone tells me that they're fine, but really they're not feeling good and they're going through a lot of pain, I can feel it, see it right away. It's like the moment this activated, this chakra activated for me, it's like I could see through things. It's almost like X-ray vision. I can't see people naked. It's not like that, but it's like I could see even if they're lying or portraying to be something else, I'm able to see it with full clarity. It's in your challenges or obstacle. You're not able to see something with full clarity. You could be experiencing your your brow chakra activation through this full moon. Magician and the mirror is here. There's something more about mirror. Okay, so it's number 53. Remember I said that number keeps popping up for me? But anyway, the magician and the mirror normally means that you have some ability, but you're scared to use it in front of people. That is not what it means this time. This time it means the mirror. Okay, so a lot of us that experience spiritual awakening experience like mirrored energy. Help me, Spirit. Like we learn through our trials and pain, and we heal from these things, from energy that mirrors us. The mirror is not like we think. It's not like if I'm a bad person, then I'm going to see bad in somebody else and they're mirroring that to me. No, if I allow people to walk all over me, then I'm going to see that, like I'm going to be able to see in somebody who's walking all over me and then realize that I allow other people to do that. Does that make sense? There's someone who's mirroring to you what it is that you're allowing. All right, potential outcome. We have strategy. Ugh. All right, so strategy says that it's not about a strategy, though. It's like a navigation. Aquarius, I think that with this Pisces full moon lunar eclipse, you could definitely be experiencing a third eye activation. I believe that this is going to help you see through people, especially through someone who is mirroring to you what it is that you need to see about yourself. Journal log is here. It's possible you've journaled about this person. It's possible you need to journal about this person. But it's more about, I don't think it's like a strategy. It's like a navigation. Like how, I guess maybe it is a strategy. How are you going to get through or around this energy without allowing it to stop you or block you or keep you from the completion or the reward or the harvest that you're going to receive with this lunar eclipse? The devil comes out. Big confirmation. So if you've been feeling like you're being attacked, you are. You're definitely at some big finish. You're at some completion. You've learned something. You probably saw something in someone and was like, oh my gosh, they're showing me this because I have to heal that in myself, right? Ace of Pentacles, you're waiting for this new start, this new beginning. You're going to have to allow the activation of the brow chakra. You're not allowing it because you don't want to see something. And you're at the point where you're going to have to see it. That's the magician in the mirror. You're going to have to face it. Five of Pentacles. Is it challenging? Yes, absolutely. This has something to do with abandonment, rejection, feeling left out in the cold. It's also Five of Pentacles. It's also the card that says you can ask Spirit for help. Like you don't have to do this alone. Strategy, Four of Swords. Again, healing. Again, a redirection. What is it that you wrote down but then didn't listen to or didn't follow? It's like I'm talking to an Aquarius and you wrote down a plan. You were like, this is what I'm going to do from now on. But then something happened, distraction, disbelief, karmic energy, something unhealthy. And it's like, bam. Now you're dealing with like mirror energy. Now you're dealing with like, you know, why do I put up with this stuff energy? Aquarius is my 8th house. I definitely was going down a path where I was breaking free from certain energies, and I definitely but I will say that I've definitely learned from the energy that's being mirrored to me. All right, your intuition is your greatest strength. Trust it. I feel like that's huge with this Pisces lunar. This is a very spiritual man. If you're going through awakening, then you listen to, you hear your intuition. Most people that are not awakened don't hear their intuition. They don't pay attention. They say they don't hear anything, right? It's because they're not awakened, because they don't want to be. So you're awakened. You wouldn't be here listening to me giving these readings if you weren't awakened. So it's like, you know, to trust your intuition, you know, to listen to it. A new opportunity will lead you to greatness. I definitely feel like you have this opportunity to break free from something. Someone is mirroring something back to you that you need to learn. It's very challenging, and maybe you keep repeating something. Maybe that's why you can't get this new beginning. And Spirit's saying it's okay to ask for help. I'm going to redirect you. I'm going to send you down the path that you're supposed to be on. All right, let's do Moonology to close it out. There's also something about gratitude, Aquarius. I know for me in my 8th house, I definitely struggle with gratitude. But there's definitely something here about like the more you have gratitude for something, like the more it works for you. All right, the answers you need are coming. It's full moon in Gemini, and the end of a tough cycle approaches. Full moon in Capricorn. There's your Capricorn energy right there. All right, I'm going to leave that right there, Aquarius. I hope that reading was helpful. If it was, make sure you're tapping that like button for me. Join, follow, subscribe, all the good things, right? That's going to be all 12 signs, guys. I hope those readings were helpful. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I appreciate all of you so very much. I will get the timestamps in the description box immediately following the live stream. So if you need to go back and listen to any of those readings, it'll help you navigate a little bit easier. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. I will see everybody next week. Let's see. I'm not sure what we're doing next. Make sure that if you're new, that you have your subscriptions and notifications hit to all, because guys, I go live all the time. This is what we do over here. I just like doing it better live. Muso Patty, welcome. But I did upload a video on YouTube. YouTube did give me some props for that, at least. They stopped yelling at me for like a day and a half. But yeah, I did upload a collective reading over on YouTube. So if you haven't got a chance to watch that, you can do that under the videos tab. If you missed any of this week's lives, you can do that under the live tab. All right, guys, I love you all. And I'm always, always sending all of you abundant love and light on your journey. Have a good night, everybody.